Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay at Home. And this week, we're actually going all the way across the pond to London to meet up with Christopher Kenna from Brand Advance. How you doing, Christopher?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself?
Very good. Trying to stay safe and sane. I haven't seen you since World Pride last year when we connected at the British Embassy, or the consulate, I should say, for New York Pride.
Yeah. I was over there on the first UK's LGBT founders trade mission to the
Yeah,
US.
that was
So, yeah.
and it was great to catch you there. I didn't know I would see you, and but it kind of goes to the cornerstone of why we're even doing these video series, and we're connected today because Christopher and I we knew each other. We knew each other virtually through LinkedIn and Twitter and so forth. And so when we met in the real world, it was like we already knew each other, or at least were a few steps ahead when it came to getting acquainted, and it made it much more not just entertaining, but fruitful in that sense that we were really able to have some good conversations. And so
Yeah.
that's and I think that in my personal opinion, I think that after all this quarantine is over, there's going to be some kind of new mix of how we engage with each other virtually in the real world, and perhaps some of this Zoom stuff will all be part of it.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think, don't get me wrong, like everybody else in the world, I'm a little bit sick of speaking to people 2D at the moment,
Yep.
but now I think, we now know that we don't actually all need to sit in the same office to be productive. We can actually run a company from your laptop and have people all over the world that are, highly skilled, but don't all need to live in London or in New York or wherever they might be. So I think this is the new normal. Look,
Yeah.
I think some of it is the new normal.
Exactly.
Some of it, there's going to be a mass exodus out the door into the pubs and to the restaurants and to the office. I know quite a few of our team just can't wait to get back to the office. But
Yeah.
no, I think it's going to change things. Has
It'll,
changed things.
it'll be like an interesting pendulum swing. I think we'll go from, right now we're in one extreme,
Yeah.
swing over to the other. And so I think as a business leader, I think we're all trying to figure out where's it going to go and settle out. And we shall see. I'm excited about that part too. That's the positive side of it all. So, but yeah, tell us what you've been up to with Brand Advance, your company there, and you guys seem to have really taken off this past year.
Yeah. So a little bit about Brand Advance. No, we help brands reach diversity at scale, and that's a bit wishy-washy. Like, what is reaching diversity? But bluntly, because I'm a Northern British guy, we help them reach non-white straight people, basically,
Yeah.
pretty much.
The ultimate in
Everything.
diversity, ultimate
Yeah.
in diversity and inclusion.
Yeah. Everybody that's the other, everyone that's not classed as mainstream in that particular country, we help brands reach them. So we've got an ad server. We've got I think now about 700 publishers on the ad server now, reaching 1 billion monthly uniques. And yeah, we work with brands like Unilever and Google and the UK government and L'Oreal, Diageo, etc. And just, from strategy through to making sure that their media plans actually have LGBTQ plus in there, but every media plan has LGBTQ plus in there, has Black, Asian, minority, ethnic, African American, Latinx, has disability, has gender empowerment, has religion. We're literally launched today a big national campaign across the whole UK for Ramadan.
Wow.
So sort of how to digitally, the government's current campaign is Stay Home. Well, the Stay Home Save Lives. And then and they keep talking about socially distancing.
Yeah.
But really, none of us are socially distancing. I'm literally socially connecting with you right now. And then everyone on your LinkedIn is going to be socially connecting with this video.
Yep.
So how are we socially distancing? So the government or the Public Health England said, okay, well, what do you think is going to make it work more for the Black, Asian, minority, ethnic and for Ramadan? So we've changed it to physical distancing, spiritually connecting for Ramadan.
Yeah.
Because Ramadan is a spiritual time. you know, of fasting in the day and then breaking that fast as a family on the evening. So, yeah, waffling a little bit, but that's a bit of what we've been up to lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must be doing something right. I just saw on LinkedIn your job posting. You've got quite a number of positions, and in this industry, you're probably one of the few doing so.
Yeah, yeah. It's even that, you know, is coming with its difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 32 of us at the moment. By the time we get out of lockdown, there'll probably be about 50 to 60 offers, because we've got about 20 jobs out at the moment. And yes, that's great as a business, as you know, as a founder, of course. But it's sort of, and I know it's, you sort of don't want to whinge when you're actually, you know, money is coming through and no one's on furlough, etc. But there are the difficulties of all, you know, half of my company won't have met the other half, you know, for the first few months of them working there. You know, it's just these 2D relationships, and then obviously trying to deliver for clients as well, and whether that's across LGBT, goes across BAME, and you don't actually say BAME anywhere other than the UK.
No, it's that's the UK speak for diversity and inclusion, which is a big part here. But you know, you're doing a lot more than just with your company, because I follow a lot of your speaking engagements and your panels that you're on with advertising, and so tell us about that. That sounds like an exciting initiative.
Yeah. So advertising is the LGBT. It's an LGBT body that sort of helps to promote LGBTQ plus inclusion within media and advertising. So whether it's the on-screen or whether it's within the companies themselves, the agencies themselves. And we sort of lobby from government right across. So that's one. I'm the diversity and inclusion director for advertising, which you might think, why do you need a diversity and inclusion director for a whole lobby group that its whole point is to push diversity and inclusion? But also within that, you know, I sort of make sure, I'm a mixed race gay guy, father of 2 teenagers, so I want to make sure that intersectionality is a big thing within it, because sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes even LGBT groups can sort of stick to one niche within LGBT, and it's, you know, whatever the ethnicity of the room is, then it tends to stay lobbying for that. So mine is, and I think nobody in advertising would disagree that, you know, it's quite white. So too male heavy as well, to be honest. But it's getting better, where, you know, it's not for the want of trying from everybody on the board and every member. There's about 300 members, and then there's about 30 people on the board, and that have the different particular roles, or maybe there's a few less on the boards. But yeah, no, I love it. I've got to be. I don't want to change the world, and I want to change it before my kids. You know, my daughter's 19, so she's sort of already in uni in the world, but my son is, you know, he's 15, he's in high school, he's grown up with having a gay dad, so he's not really bothered about that. He's Gen Z, they're a lot different to us, they're going to change it all, but I just want to make sure that us oldies that are running companies, etc., just catch up with the kids before they get here. Do you know what I mean? We're so far behind, we're not. So that's why I do that. I'm trying to think what other boards I'm on. I've just been put onto the board of the Victoria and Albert Museum.
Okay.
So one of the biggest museums in Europe, I believe, for collections. So I'm working, it's like an advisory board to help them culturally relate. They're building a couple more V&A museums. There's one going in East London, and etc. So they want to make sure that their culture, they sort of, you know, a museum wouldn't expect to see it in a very black, you know, or Asian area of London. Not that one, because the other one, the main Victoria and Albert, is in Kensington, which, you know. So yeah, just to make sure that the whole museum knows, it can sort of adapt to the, you know, the different type of people that are going to come in there from LGBT, because it's a high LGBT area, it's a high black and mixed ethnicity area of London. So
isn't Isn't that the museum that Dan Bow does a lot of LGBT or works there and is part of that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've
Because we
only
had him on the show last week, and so
okay.
from London, his whole thing is museums from home, and he's very focused on the LGBT life of museums and history
Yeah,
and so forth. So
probably it's one of the
yeah,
big museums in Europe, really.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, this is great. You know, we were due to connect and meet each other again in March here in New
Yeah,
York, and that didn't work out for obvious reasons. And but hopefully you'll be here in a few weeks or this summer. I had plans to be in London for September to kind of continue to launch a lot of the initiatives, including LGBT pop-up that we were focused on.
yeah.
So we'll see where all that goes, because it'd be great to reconnect in the real world again.
No, definitely. No, it'd be really good.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm a fan of watching these. I've watched a few of them. Nice of you to ask me to be on one, but you know, I think just to finish off, I told you I was gobby. That I think now more than ever, do the voices, you know, whether it's from ILoveGay or whether it's you know, Pride Media, or whether it's Gay Times, Attitude, Diva, Pink News. I think now more than ever, and this is my little plea out, is brands need to make sure that they're spending and, you know, investing in that demographic, in them big consumer spends, attaching their brands to messages, to communities, to just nobody wants to see a toothpaste ad anymore. You know, the world has changed. We do not want to see a toothpaste ad, but we do want to know from a brand how to look after our dental and oral hygiene when the dentists are closed for 6 months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
we want helpfulness. And the LGBT community also wants that brand helpfulness. And the best way to reach that community is through the media that day in, day out speaks to them communities, you know, not just the sort of marketeer's way of thinking. I can reach them on Facebook and I can reach them on terrestrial TV. Talking about that, actually, we just launched Out TV in the UK as well.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the first ever LGBT lifestyle channel to ever launch in the UK. I know we think we're really liberal, and actually in 2020 we're actually launching an LGBT channel when everyone else has had one for years. But it's here now. So it was myself and a guy called Ian Van der Putten, who works at Out TV. We've worked together over the years, and I'm sort of like, you need to bring that here. And I'm sure, and now seemed the right time for, well, when we decided it seemed the right time for brands and stuff to be investing in it.
Oh yeah.
And then the world decided to end. But when it kickstarts again, then I'm sure it is already a big success. You know, it's a success in that people are, well, they're being forced to sign up and watch it now because there's nothing else to do. Get your 1 hour walk, come back and watch Out TV and watch a bit of RuPaul's Drag Race. So, yeah.
I agree. In fact, that's aligned with, we're going to be, because one of the big things we were going to announce, but it's just not the right time because of what's going on. But it's all about Out TV's kind of world of connected TV. And so companies don't really realize that through that same targeted programmatic technology, they can actually run their video ads on the big screen to reach the same audience that they've been targeting and figured out how to target online or on mobile and so forth. So we're going to be really kind of pushing that out, especially because in the US we have Reverie TV. And so Reverie is one of the few streaming connected TV. And so it's that whole concept, but there's just tons of opportunity. And so, but it'll make a lot more sense when we launch this, but then talking with brands that, yeah, they can use technology to just kind of be everywhere. But the best thing is going to be when they're actually teaming up with someone like you to be able to really maximize what they could do on something like Out TV, because that's where the real magic is.
And I think contextual, contextual environments now, like data and all this data that everybody's been layering on top, and, what did you do yesterday? What you're going to do tomorrow? What you're doing right now, and working that out and sticking an ad that you think is going to be useful. Well, all that's messed up now for at least the next year or so, because the data that people are getting on what I'm doing now is not the real me. I'm being told to stay in this room, I'm being told to stay in my house. My house isn't one room, by the way. I've
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
few. And I stay in this room. But, you know, I've been told to stay in my apartment. The things I'm buying are, some are boredom, some are compulsory, some, you know, I just wake up because I had a few drinks and realised there's a new sofa coming. That's real. Actually happening. So I've had to put my old sofa up for sale on Facebook so that the new one can come. But you know, I think contextual. People have been talking about it, and like you said, you know, I do a lot of marketing industry stages and panel discussions, etc. I do Cannes, ISBA, all of these. And everybody's been talking about contextual. Brand Advance is a contextual media agency. You know, we don't target someone because they're gay or because they're black. We just have all the LGBT publications. You drop your content that resonates with them, and it's relevant to everybody. You know, because they all have an interest in that media because they're there. I think now, you know, because the data's got skewed now, you know, the personal data of people isn't really their life. And then you're going to need to wait another 6 months for them to have their real life so that you can have the data again. Do you get what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
So I think contextual, the only way where you're going to actually resonate with people is going to be going back to old school. And then throw into that mix the third party cookie, you know, being blocked by Google, etc. Then now you just need to tell real stories and stick in environments, whether it's LGBTQ plus, whether it's Black, Asian, minority, ethnic, or, you know, wherever it is, you're going to need to have creative that resonates with that demographic, and then you're going to need to stick in it in, you know, a contextual environment where that creative really feels organic and authentic, and, you know, doesn't feel like you just changed the logo because Pride's coming. So I think, you know, dare I say it, from this horrible global pandemic, I think some good change for diversity media is on the horizon, because, you know, people now need to know something about the audience that's there, not just what data told them.
Very, very good point. So this is why you and I have been well aligned over the last couple of years, because we see, you know, not everything, but most of everything you've said is just, we're very much on the same page. So and so I look forward to when you're out here in New York, or like I said, vice versa in London, and really appreciate you being here with us today.
No, thanks for having me.
All right. Take care now.
And you.